ever wondered why you react a certain way in stressful situations? You know, like when the pressure is on and you just shut down, or maybe you lash out, even though you know you shouldn't. Well, I'm here to tell you, these aren't just random reactions, folks. They're driven by powerful forces within us called defense mechanisms. We all have them. They are hardwired into our systems. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of defense mechanisms. We're going to pull back the curtain and expose these subconscious mechanisms that drive your behavior. We're talking about understanding the why behind your reactions. Why do you get defensive when you're challenged? Why do some people just crumble at the first sign of conflict? We're going to unpack that. And the good news is, once you understand these mechanisms, you can start to gain control over them. That's right, no more being a passenger in your own life. We're going to equip you with the knowledge and tools to understand these defense mechanisms and how they operate in your life. Knowledge is power, people. When you understand yourself, you can change the way you react to the world around you. So buckle up, get ready to learn, and let's get started. Let's talk about denial. This is a big one, and we've all been there. Denial is your brain's way of hitting the snooze button on reality. It's like when you refuse to acknowledge something that's staring you right in the face. Like if you're deep in debt, but keep spending like money grows on trees. Denial might feel like a comfy blanket in the short term, but let me tell you, it'll suffocate you in the long run. It's like ignoring a leak in your roof. You might not want to deal with it now, but eventually that little drip will become a flood of problems. Denial only delays the inevitable. Sooner or later, reality is going to come knocking, and it won't be pretty. Here's the thing about denial. It's often rooted in fear. We're afraid of facing the truth, afraid of the pain or consequences that might follow. But here's the deal. Running from your problems never solves anything. In fact, it usually just makes them worse. Now let's dig into repression. This defense mechanism takes burying your head in the sand to a whole new level. Repression is like stuffing all your unpleasant memories and emotions into a mental basement and locking the door. You see, your subconscious mind, it's got a way of protecting you from things you're not ready to deal with. So it just shoves those painful memories, those unacceptable impulses, those deep-seated fears deep down where you don't have to think about them. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But here's the kicker. Just because you lock it away doesn't mean it goes away. Those repressed feelings, they can manifest in other ways. You might find yourself feeling anxious or depressed, but you don't know why. You might have trouble forming healthy relationships. You might even develop physical symptoms, like headaches or insomnia. That's your repressed past, bubbling up to the surface. Pointing the finger. Let's talk about projection. This one's a real relationship killer, folks. Projection is basically psychological hot potato. You can't stand something about yourself, so what do? You toss it onto someone else. See, it's much easier to point the finger than to look in the mirror. So you take those negative traits, those unacceptable feelings, and you project them onto others. You accuse your partner of being controlling when, in reality, you're the one who's calling all the shots. Or maybe you criticize your co-worker for being lazy when deep down you're actually feeling insecure about your own work ethic. Projection is a way of avoiding responsibility for your own stuff. It's a way of maintaining a sense of righteousness, even when you're in the wrong. But here's the catch. It keeps you stuck. You can't grow as a person if you're always blaming others for your own shortcomings. Misplaced anger. Now, let's unpack displacement. Ever had a bad day at work and come home and yelled at your family? Or maybe you got into a fender bender and found yourself snapping at the insurance agent. That's displacement in action. It's like emotional ping pong. You're angry at one person or situation, but you take it out on someone or something else entirely. Displacement is a way of channeling your anger or frustration onto a safer target. You can't yell at your boss without risking your job, so you come home and unleash on your spouse or your kids. It's not fair, it's not right, but it's a common way of coping with difficult emotions. The problem is, displacement doesn't actually address the root of the problem It's just a temporary fix that can have lasting consequences. It can damage your relationships, create a toxic environment, and leave you feeling even more stressed and frustrated in the long run. Turning lemons into lemonade. Finally, let's talk about sublimation. This is the overachiever of defense mechanisms. Sublimation is like taking your negative energy and channeling it into something positive and productive. It's like turning lemons into lemonade, folks. You see, we all have impulses and desires that aren't always socially acceptable. But with sublimation, you find a healthy outlet for those urges. Let's say you're dealing with a lot of anger and aggression. Instead of lashing out, you join a boxing gym and hit a punching bag, or maybe you're feeling lost and unfulfilled. So, you pour your heart and soul into a creative pursuit like painting or writing. Sublimation is a way of transforming your negative energy into something positive and productive. It's about finding healthy outlets for your emotions and using them to fuel your passions. It's about turning your struggles into strengths. Now that's what I call a win-win. So, there you have it. 5 common defense mechanisms that we all use to navigate the challenges of life. Remember, these mechanisms are neither inherently good nor bad. They're just your mind's way of protecting you, of helping you cope with difficult situations. But here's the thing. When you're unaware of these mechanisms, they can run your life, leading you down a path of unhealthy behaviors and unfulfilling relationships. But here's the good news. By understanding these defense mechanisms, you can start to gain better control over your reactions. You can start to make conscious choices that serve you well. Instead of reacting automatically out of fear or insecurity, you can learn to communicate your needs more effectively, set healthy boundaries, and build stronger, more fulfilling relationships. So, take some time to reflect on these defense mechanisms. Which ones do you recognize in yourself? How have they helped you in the past? And how might they be holding you back today? Remember, knowledge is power. And with the right tools and self-awareness, you can break free from these subconscious patterns and create a happier, healthier life. Thanks for watching.